Isaí Martinez Zepeda, nephew of El Chapo Guzmán, arrested in Nogales, Sonora. Isaí Martinez Zepeda, the nephew of Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán and a high-ranking Los Chapitos officer involved in synthetic drug trafficking, was arrested by Mexican security forces in Colonia Casablanca of Nogales, Sonora. Zepeda is identified as a high-ranking officer of Los Chapitos faction in charge of producing and distributing synthetic drugs to the United States and Costa Rica. He has an extradition order from the United States. Zepeda, then 25, was previously arrested in June 2008 in Sinaloa State by Policía Federal Preventiva. He was arrested in possession of a 9mm pistol, an AK-47, and a cell phone, 2 communication radios, a USB drive, and a vehicle with a temporary permit to circulate from the state of Sonora. He was briefly transferred to the Altiplano prison but was later freed. He is the brother of another associate of El Chapo, Enoch El Chinacate Martinez Zepeda El Chinacate, who was arrested in 2005 in Sinaloa. Both men appeared on a wanted poster from the early 2010s showing El Chapo's officers. Just the other day, in a live stream, we were sitting here talking about how the Chapitos had a cousin from Ireland, right? And then a week later, I see this. We were just talking about it. I said, damn, we got an Irish guy, huh? And then this guy, he looked mad Irish. But then again, he looked like he could be Canelo's brother. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that this guy ain't got nothing to do with Ireland. You know, straight Mexico. Wait, so they released the dude they just arrested? No, that was from another arrest in 2005 that they released him. Shout out Upper Echelon. Not the same one, but I don't know if this is a real nephew. Okay. It seemed strange the way they said they said he's Chapo's nephew, but then they said, but he's a brother of another Chapo associate. Not another nephew, not another... See, so they be out here. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
That makes sense. So it's not the same as the Irish guy, but don't know if it's his real nephew. Okay. I'll take it. So this just another bullshit... Another motherfucker arrested, and we got to hear the story just because somebody said he's Chapo's nephew? Is this the what's it called? The media cycle that we've been talking about, how they just got to pick something up to throw a name in there. Then I use the name. I'm going to use it because I want to fuck. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this doesn't sound like just another locked up motherfucker. Again, Jay has clarified that his brother is very high and close to the game, so I get it. But god damn, we got to talk about everybody. Also, I don't think that Chinacate actually stood in prison in 2005 because the wanted posters were from 2010. Why would they say wanted if he was in custody? I also remember clearly that was around Christmas 2006, 2007. Yeah, that looks funny too. They said here, Zepeda, then 25. How old is he now? You don't tell me how old is he now? I got to do the math. Was previously arrested in 2008 in Sinaloa State. He was arrested in possession of all that shit. He was briefly transferred to Altiplano, later freed. He is the brother of another El Chapo associate, El Chinacate, who's supposedly in this poster. I would say after January, so they get shit wrong all the time. Upper Echelon, one of those kids that been around so long, he calls himself Theo. Says he's his nephew.
No mommy's wait.
They get a news story. They also get a target. No? Te metiste. You called yourself the nephew, and now we got you on a kingpin charge. Yeah, they also don't have the same last name, so I don't know if that's his actual nephew. Well, that happens too, of course, but I hear you. Well, you're popped, Papa, and you're gonna be on the next thing smoking too. The United States of America.
This is America.
Like, why are we talking about this guy? So we've been seeing that El Rocha.
Oye, y el Rocha. Y el Rocha. Bueno, y el Rocha.
Has been indicted by the United States government. We've seen people around him turn themselves in. We've seen his political party say that they're going to stand behind him and protect him. And we've not seen him again. All right? He disappeared with his 17 trucks of security off into the sunset, and we don't know where he's at the moment. We've been wondering if they've been playing political favorites, connections, and how far they're going to go to protect El Rocha. We also saw El Rocha step down as the governor. All right? I forgot to mention that part. We saw him step down as the governor and disappear. But as far as the Secretary of Security of Mexico, Omar García Harfuch, he says they're gonna pursue politicians regardless of their political party. 7 mayors arrested in Mexico. 7 mayors. All right. This guy's looking for a seat where that lady sits. He wants to be the president. He has a personal gripe with a lot of these guys, and he's getting after it. And I guess they're turning their eyes to the political parties now, to the filthy, connected, fueled up politicians. Some of those politicians are pointing right back at him, saying, "Hey, man, you're one of those guys." But we'll see. 7 mayors have been detained in Mexico, regardless of their political party affiliation, highlighted Omar García Harfuch, head of the SSPC, while affirming that there will be no impunity for those with ties to organized crime. You always got to remember the words you say. Make sure them shits don't come back to haunt you. Hit that like button if you have yet to do so. On Wednesday morning, the Secretary of Security and Citizen Protection, Omar García Harfuch, warned that there would be no impunity for political figures linked to criminal activity. You just said that in this sentence. Coño, man.
Coño, man.
During the morning press conference held by President Claudia Sheinbaum, the official revealed that so far during this administration, 85 public servants have been successfully detained. Prominent amongst those arrests are 7 municipal mayors from various jurisdictions. Okay, so this has been happening during the administration. So this didn't just happen in one fell swoop. Okay, a little deceitful right there. Right? In a previous interview granted to La Hornada, the secretary emphasized the nonpartisan nature of these actions. Wherever there are indications and evidence against those who commit crimes, whether they are current or former public officials, they will be investigated and detained. It is also very important for the citizenry to know that this applies regardless of party or political stripe. In these cases, those involved come from every party from across the entire political spectrum. High-impact statistics. Harfuch asserted that the security strategy has resulted in a 49% reduction in intentional homicides between September 2024 and May 2026. This decline, described by the Secretary as unprecedented, is accompanied by the capture of 54,300 individuals for high-impact crimes. The official report details a significant financial and operational blow dealt to criminal organizations through the seizure of more than 400 tons of narcotics, 2,400 destroyed clandestine laboratories, nearly 30,000 seized firearms, 78% of U.S. origin.
This is America.
García Harfuch reiterated that the primary objective is to ensure that there are fewer criminals on the streets and that peace increases amongst the population, while maintaining vigilance over the conduct of public officials at all levels. This is just a pat on the back story. Yeah, we got 7 mayors across this. We got 85 public servants across this administration's time in office, and we're bringing down the crime rate. Man, you got a whole war going on in the whole place over there. So I don't know. We'll see if they hold to their words about going at every political party, regardless. Because I told you there'd be some separation from El Rocha. And that shit was almost immediate. I think the government is supporting the Maito faction. They don't seem to be going so much after them compared to the Chapo faction. Yeah, man, it seems that way. If we're looking at what the news is reporting, that's what it looks like. We've seen a lot more of that than the other way around, really. And this guy here, he got his own, he's gonna be known as the guy that went after and got Mencho, and they tried to take him out. So he got his personal gripe with them. So they basically had to remind us that they've gotten 85 public servants and that anybody can get it. This sounds like it's funny that the president mentioned it, right? It's funny that the president is the one that mentioned it. Hold on, I fucked this up. It's funny that the president's the one that mentioned it at a time where people got her under pressure to see if she is indeed going to protect El Rocha from the United States. And they said, okay, people are stressing her about whether she's going to protect duelists. She said, you know what? Let me show y'all. We've arrested 85 public servants. We're not hiding from politicians. We're coming to get them too. Just not us. The United States is coming to get us. No? Ain't that what it looks like? She put out that statement, then they talk about it, they put out these stories. It's on the topic, right? It's talking about her going after politicians, him going after politicians. There's just a level that they're going to stop at. There's a level of politician that they're not going to go above. 3 Mexican meth cooks arrested at drug lab in Nigeria. In an increasingly common occurrence across Africa, 3 Mexican meth cooks were arrested by the Nigerian drug police at a raid on a synthetic drug production lab hidden in a forest in Osun State, Nigeria. Okay. On Wednesday, Nigeria's National Drug Law Enforcement Agency announced the dismantling of a major meth production operation involving Nigerian and Mexican operatives, arresting 10 operatives, including 3 Mexican cooks, identified as experts by Nigerian authorities. Listen, man, we're talking about poor people in a lot of poor places. Who you think they're making this meth for? This is America. And they're making it for Europe too. Including 3 Mexican cooks identified as experts by Nigerian authorities. The seizure of methamphetamine bust is the largest in Nigeria's history, at 2,419.48 kilos of meth and precursor chemicals estimated at a value of $362.9 million USD. This is America. Shout out Dapper. They call it gringo food. This is America. This is America. That's what it is. Look at these guys. These guys look like they done fucked up, boy.
Oh shit, not good.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
FJM, they gotta keep the scammers awake. You out of pocket. But that ain't for them. They ain't buying that shit. Little Timmy buying that shit. Shout out Velez. You think logistically that makes sense to make it over there and send it out here? Nah, I'm saying though, it's places over there that's getting it too. What I'm saying, it ain't a bunch of poor people just getting high. I think they're trying to flood Europe and Africa with it. I agree. You know, like who said it? Shout out Dapper. He said they most likely sending it to Australia. Yeah, down under America. It's America down there.
This is America.
It's for the Nigerian prince that all the people send money to. Yeah. They got the load. They just waiting for the time. I feel like they always have the location. Yeah, I do too. I always feel like they just waiting to push a button. Shout out Velez. The guy that was on Julian's podcast had mentioned that they were making over there to send back here. That don't make sense. Unless they got a sweet lick. You never know. You come up on a sweet lick of transportation somehow. I don't know. You know, some kind of good deal. Shout out Declan. They shipped loads of it, meth, to Ireland. Apparently it was for Australia. See, that's what I'm saying. They just needed an outpost. They probably not moving that shit across the world. Listen to anybody's story. Shout out Soul Man. CJ&G expanded a lot to Africa before Mentro's death. It also became a point to have meetings for Europe associates with Mexicans. Lots of guns come from Africa too. Cheap to pay for protection there. I'm sure there's a lot of upsides. The price of meth is so cheap right now, it don't make no sense. This is America. The Nigeria seizure comes just 2 weeks after South African authorities dismantled another major industrial-scale methamphetamine laboratory in Zwartrugens, northwest of Johannesburg, arresting 11 suspects, including 5 Mexican nationals, allegedly involved in supervising production. This was at least the 4th lab bust where Mexican nationals were arrested. They